Today what we're going to be doing is Big 3 upgrade and a 250 amp high output alternator on my Chrysler 300C. This is a 2005. Rims came with it, so hold your judgment about my rims since they just came with the car. Anyway, I already have my power wire ran right here. I'm going to connect this to this little block. Old alternator's right there. So I'm going to use a mock-up from where that power cable comes out. And I'm going to run it right up and over and into the same block as this. I'm using all 4 gauge wire. And it seems like that is going to be good enough. If you want to use 0, obviously the bigger the better as far as wire gauges go and other areas in life. But I do have some split loom, high temperature split loom coming because I had to take this power wire here that's going in there and take it out and around the back. This is it right here, covered in electrical tape, just in case. And I went back to the firewall that actually the wires, like, I think they're from my amp or something, I don't know really, but yeah, see right down in there, that little circle. Apparently there's a place you can go on the other way that splices right into the, I think it's 2 gauge coming off of my battery, but I could not find it, and I ended up breaking all kinds of clips and stuff on my other door, so I said screw it, and I went through that firewall, ran it up here, comes in down underneath the steering wheel down there and across this beautiful Kenwood Exelon DNX 691 HD head unit, which is probably the awesomest head unit I've ever had, with the iData Link Maestro, of course. And it runs up underneath the glove box, and it goes here, right behind here, all the way through the back seat and in through here into the trunk. And here it is. This is where it is. Right there. Okay? So, right now it has a 150 amp fuse in it. I gotta replace that. I'm using A&L fuses all over my car. Just like that right there for my subwoofer, for my Pioneer amplifier there. Ignore the capacitor also, because I know some of you guys say they're pointless, but just hold it. Alright, so there's the, I'm going to replace that with the 250 amp fuse. And that comes right out here, and that's going right onto the positive of the battery. Alright, I'm going to start working on the alternator as soon as I get all my wires cut and I get the loops on them. I'm going to actually take you in the garage and show you that real quick too. I'm using kind of a ghetto way, I guess, about doing it, but 4 gauge is pretty thick. So I got the wire right here. Alright, all I'm using is a, I don't know, safety utility knife, whatever you want to call them. Blade's a little bit rusty in it. And I'm just very lightly cutting around and getting that nice, thick, beautiful copper out of it. And the way I'm doing it is I'm putting the head on here right against the base. Okay, and I'll hold it down with that finger like that. And there, I have those pliers. And you squeeze them, and they're the grippy ones. I can't remember what they're called. Locking. They're not locking. Well, yeah, they might be locking. I don't know. But anyway, so I'll get them all overlapped, and I'll show you then. And take them on the floor and pound them with the hammer. Okay, so here, I wanted to take a picture of it. This is exactly how I do it. Oh, I took a picture, okay. Get it all gripped up in there, focus, there you go. So you get it all gripped up in there, and you just bend the one tab down. Now I'm going to take it off and tighten it and grip that thing down on there super tight. Focus, stupid. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Nope, you screwed it all up again. Anyway, so yeah, you just want to kind of overlap it the best you can here. Let's see if that helps at all. And you know, just tighten it down on there, and then we're going to take that wing on the right hand side and we're going to tighten that bad boy down on there, and then all you got to do from there, it should be nice and tight and everything like that, but I take it on the cement floor and pound it a couple times with the hammer just to ensure it's on there. And then you want to slip, sorry it's a ground but I ran out of black rubber cover things, slip that rubber cover right up, and then we're going to duct tape it black. And then we're going to repeat that one more time, and then we'll get into the alternator. See you on the other side. Okay, I just wanted to show you the finished product here. And there it is. That's all you need. And that should hold up to basically almost anything you can throw at it. Man, my camera, I need to work on this focus thing. I don't know what's going on. Almost set here. I have one more terminal to put on, but I'm actually going to pull the alternator off now to make sure that the holes on that terminal are big enough to be mounted on the power AC out of the alternator. So, I just want to show you this real quick. Alright, here we go. First off, I'm going to be, for the two bottom, there's two bolts on the bottom, one bolt on the top, and then you have a clamp that holds the power, AC power out in, and there is also a clip for the voltage regulator, since that's built in. So the two bolts on the bottom I will be taking from the bottom, and there's one bolt on the top. I will be taking that from the top, and we'll see. I'll probably take the clip off from the top and the power off from the bottom, possibly. Anyway, I wanted to show you this real quick. There are 4 bolts you have to remove on the bottom. Right there's one of them. Over here is fuzzy number 2, and then 3 in the back and 4 in the back, and that's going to remove this whole plastic tray thing on the bottom here, not this front part but the back part here, and that's going to give us a view up into the engine, which the alternator is right up there, and that's where we got to go. I also wanted to point out the battery terminals themselves and all the ground bolts that I've been taking out of the car so far have been 10mm. These bolts on the bottom here, I'm using a 13/32 bit, but I guess that's probably like a 7/16 or I don't know, maybe like a 13, 12 or 13 in the metric world probably. So, alright gentlemen. So that was really easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cheap cordless drill I got from Arbor Freight back in the day. And let me tell you what, shout out to Arbor Freight. A lot of the crap they sell is cheap crap, but man, if you take care of it, you use it right, you don't overstrain it, that stuff will last forever. So the bolts are out. This piece of plastic, hopefully you can see that. You pull it straight back. And voila, all kinds of goodies. And my friends, that is the bottom of the alternator. Right there, okay? So you got that black bar right there, and that goes over, and that's one mounting bolt on the bottom that I'll be taking out. Right there above my finger is the second bolt, okay? And see it better from back here, I guess. Maybe, yeah, that black clip, it's right there. Let me try and block that sunlight a little bit. Okay, there. That black little clip right up there, that's what's covering the power cable. And then you see those 2 cables running directly beside it. Those are the power cable. Also, right above it is that that clip I was talking about that we'll probably get from up top. Alright, so I'm going, luckily I have all kinds of ratcheting wrenches, and because it's looking like a tight squeeze to get and another there. Important part I should probably mention. Right there, this guy. Let me try and point him out to you here. Yeah, this guy right here. That's your tensioner pulley. There's a square in the bottom of that thing. All you got to do is slip a ratchet right on it. You can see it right down right There, yeah, that's a square. Yep, right there. And you stick a ratchet on there, give it a crank, and that belt will come right off. Alright, here we go. Okay guys, ooh, fuzzo vision. So, okay. So as you can see, I got the belt off Senior Alternator right there. Okay, really easy. Like I said, just pop it on that thing and give it a twist, a flick of the wrist. Right now, I'm working on clearing space to get to the bottom. Okay, so you know, earlier on, I took off that piece of plastic back there. Well, you got about a handful or so of these. These are 9/32. That's what I used to get them out at least, and they hold this piece of plastic in. Okay, and I see by removing this piece of plastic, that'll free us up a lot of space to get our hands in there to get those bottom bolts and whatnot off. So it's a handful of those, and then these little clipper doodles right here. Okay, and that's just a flat head. You pry that button part sticking out, you pry that out, and then the whole thing pulls out like one piece. Let me see if I can get one out for you here real quick just to show you. Really easy. Possibly not even necessary. There you go. Okay, see that's all coming out. Okay, so they just pop right out, little pop guys right there. Okay, so it's 2 of those on each side, total of 4. Then, like I said, about a handful of those little nuts, those little bolts, guys. And then we're gonna bring this plastic piece off, and then we're getting to the nitty gritty. Hey guys. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like with that plastic piece removed, and it is a thing of beauty. You can see right up in there, and I mean, you got access to that bolt. You got access to that bolt. I just popped this little cap. I don't even know if I can get this little cap. Yeah, that's it right there. Right back here, there's a little cap. Right up there. And yeah, that's it right there. And I popped that thing right off. Incredible. So, you can see that little tiny piece of copper sticking right in between that triangle. That's where that bolt is. And then there's a sensor right above that. And then after we get that off, we're going, baby. We're cooking with oil. Okay, guys, what's up? What's up? All right, so we're using a 15mm ratchet here. I boogered my hand up a little bit, so I want to exercise my right to tell you, use caution when you're doing this, because it will hurt you like a SOB, man. Oh, so bad. So these bolts right here, this is how I'm getting to them. I got the top one out in the black thing. That one's a little bit tougher. These things are torqued at about 20 tons, I think. So be careful, because it sucks. I used a breaker bar on this bottom one, but I couldn't get one that fit up in here. So I'm using this shorter ratchet because it fits up in there, and oh man, I pushed up and my palm hit like right here on this plastic thing, and yeah, it took a nice layer of skin off. So yeah, that was an ouchie. So they take some serious torque to get off of there. Don't confuse it, man. But once you get them broken up, they pretty much screw right out. Obviously, since they're bolts and everything. So these 2 bottom ones are gonna come out. Like I said, really easy to get to them. I saw a lot of guys with videos on YouTube who just said they were having a heck of a time trying to get these things out, man. And I was honestly a little bit surprised with how much room you can actually make in this engine. So just making sure that we're loosening, you're pushing upwards and away from your car. Okay, and eventually it'll get to a point where you can actually just use your hand, obviously. I mean, I'm acting like you guys are noobs here. And if you're trying to do an alternator, well, I really hope you're not a noob if you're trying to do an alternator, because, yeah, that is no fun. But even if you are, you know, go at it, man. You know, you never know until you try. So, I mean, first things first, I personally would probably try and get something a little bit easier. Maybe like take a tire off or something. But yeah, the most important part behind this project at the beginning that I showed in the video, but I don't know if I, really pointed out enough of it, is you need to disconnect your battery. No electricity going through this whole system. Your ass will get zapped. Also, I would recommend taking off all jewelry. I have a bracelet on my left hand, but it's pretty tight. I don't have any watches or rings on. You're dealing with electricity here, people, and you want to be careful. And another thing that was very surprising is these bolts are long as crap. Like, man, I don't know if they could get any longer. So yeah, that's the bottom two bolts. The top one is already loosened up. The only thing I really have left on here, oh, that power one, by the way. Once you break that, where the power goes, not those two, not any of the mounting ones, but the power one on the back of it. Once you break that, I could hand loosen that. So I mean, that thing came off so super easy. This is really great. So I got to loosen up the bolt on the top yet. And then comes the interesting part of trying to get her out, because that's what I heard is also a pain. So we'll get there. And up top we are again. Alright, alternator right there. You can see I got that sensor off. All I did, okay, I don't know if you can, let me try and zoom in up on that. Okay, you see those ridges right there? Yeah, flathead fits right in there. Just give a little pop forward, that thing will come right off. Really easy, alright? Now it's loosened up out of its brackets. The only thing, yeah, that's where we're going to have to try and squeeze it out of. So, I'm going to remove this, okay, and that'll free up some space up here. And I just want to push down on the back of it. Okay, wiggle it off here. Alright, and I'm going to need two hands for that, obviously. And I'm just going to try and force this pipe over as much as I can. And that's weird, it feels like there's something in there. Okay, so that's how we're going to try and do this, and we'll see what happens. Okay guys, look at that, there she is. Yeah, that was a bitch, not gonna lie. Definitely want to unplug that sensor right there. I learned this, I kind of broke it. This plastic orange piece slides over, I think, and it pulls off. I didn't realize that at first, so I just kind of pulled it off, and you see it broke a little bit there, but whatever, it probably still works. This hose, extremely glad it's flexible, because I really had to give it a time getting it out of there, let me tell you. So, out with the old and with the new. Oh my god, you guys, a miracle just happened. I got the alternator back in there. That's the new 250 amp beast. And let me tell you what, this hose right here, I'm pretty sure it's made out of some type of NASA compound for re-entrance, because holy beep, that thing is tough. I was literally wedging that alternator down in there with this flathead. It actually did more good getting the old one out than the new one in. And I luckily invested in a flat bar, and that thing helped me get that back in. I mean, I was prying and all kinds of crap, and that, no holes in that thing. This guy right here, it's got to be something with the air conditioning, I would imagine, with all these little pressure tubes coming out, possibly brakes. I don't really know the new age thing, but yeah, it got a little bit scuffed up, you know, some paint missing on it and stuff like that, but, and this got a little bit dinged, a little bit ripped up, but you know what, I got it in there now. Oh, and I bent these forks a little bit, so be careful when you're doing that. Plug this thing back in here. So, time to end this story on a good note and get this alternator back in here and fixed and done and over with, and I don't ever have to worry about it again.